Sure. Here's a refined version of that section for a voiceover. Imagine you're cruising down the highway in your autonomous vehicle when suddenly a child darts into the street. In that instant, your car mistakenly sees the child as just a harmless shadow. What happens next? This is just a hypothetical situation. The risks of misclassifying objects in self-driving cars are very real and increasingly concerning. Many people don't realize how these errors can lead to serious accidents. What if I told you the technology we trust could overlook critical dangers? Now, picture yourself in a busy city, relying on your car's eye to navigate tricky scenarios. What if it confuses a construction cone for a parked car? It may sound minor, but this kind of mistake can escalate quickly. Your vehicle's decisions hinge on data, and if that data is flawed, the consequences can be enormous. Let's break down how this happens. Sensors and cameras are designed to detect and classify objects, but they don't perceive the world like we do. They rely heavily on training data, which can be biased or incomplete. Have you ever thought about how a snow-covered road might confuse an eye? It could misinterpret the white snow as an empty space, leading to serious issues. And it gets even more troubling. In real-world tests, vehicles have struggled to recognize pedestrians in certain lighting conditions. Imagine that child again, running into the street at sunset. Your car's sensors, overwhelmed by glare, might completely miss them. This is just a tech glitch, it's about people's lives. Now, you might wonder if there's a solution. Yes, some companies are working hard to improve their algorithms, but there's often a lag in implementing these updates. What if your vehicle isn't part of that upgrade cycle? The risks are too significant to ignore. Before you think this won't affect you, reconsider. Every time you get into an autonomous vehicle, you're trusting your life and the lives of others to a system that might not see everything. It's a gamble, and the odds may not always be in our favor. So what can you do? Stay informed. Advocate for transparency in how these systems operate. Demand better safety standards from manufacturers. You deserve to know just how safe your ride really is. As we move toward a future increasingly reliant on AI, we must remain vigilant. Each time you step into a self-driving car, remember the technology is still learning. Sometimes what it does see could mean the difference between safety and disaster. Keep that in mind the next time you buckle up. Don't just trust the Mac and question it. Your life could depend on it. Have you ever relied on technology a bit too much? Imagine driving down the road completely unaware of a hidden danger ahead. What if I told you that the systems designed to keep us safe might misidentify objects right in front of us? Many people think autonomous vehicles are completely reliable, but there's a growing concern that the algorithms behind them can misinterpret their surroundings. Picture this: you're driving home on a familiar road when you catch a glimpse of something in your peripheral vision. Your car's sensors label it as harmless. But what if it's something serious? It could be a child chasing a ball, a cyclist in your blind spot, or even a fallen tree branch. That's pretty unsettling, right? The harsh reality is that these mistakes stem from the very algorithms meant to keep us safe. They are trained on datasets that can be incomplete or biased, leading to potentially dangerous consequences. Now, imagine the panic of receiving a notification that your vehicle's misidentified an obstacle. Your heart races as you recall that moment of trust. But did the system truly trust its own judgment? As technology evolves, we need to stay vigilant. Are manufacturers doing enough to ensure accuracy, or are they rushing products to market? The stakes are high, and the risks can often go unnoticed. Here's the key point: as consumers, we have the power to demand better from these technologies. We need transparency and accountability. It's not just about convenience, it's about our safety. So, what can you do? Start asking questions and stay informed. If we don't voice our concerns before your next drive, take a moment to consider this: the technology you rely on is only as dependable as its understanding of the world. And sometimes that understanding just isn't enough. Next time you get into your car, think about its perspective. Are its sensors really seeing everything? Imagine you're cruising down the highway, music playing, windows down, when suddenly your car swerves. What if I told you that moment could be triggered by a tiny error in eye? Many people don't realize that object detection in self-driving cars isn't as reliable as it seems. There's a hidden danger in the algorithms that power these vehicles. It's not just about avoiding crashes, it's also about misclassifying objects that could mean the difference between safety and disaster. Picture this: you're driving past a construction site and your car mistakes a pile of bricks for a harmless shadow. How often do we underestimate the risks posed by certain objects? That misclassification could lead to a disaster you never saw coming. What's even more concerning is how these systems learn. Fire trained on data sets that might not cover every possible scenario. Imagine your car navigating through a busy city, but having never seen a homeless person with a shopping cart, it might label that as a simple obstruction. Now, picture yourself on a crowded street, and your vehicle suddenly makes a decision based on incomplete information. You can feel the tension rise and your heart race as you wonder: will it recognize the cyclist weaving through traffic? Will it spot the child darting out from behind parked cars? These moments of uncertainty highlight the risks we take when we place blind trust in technology. As we move closer to full autonomy, the stakes get higher. Every misclassified object isn't just a coding error, it's a potential threat to lives. So, what can we do about this? The answer is simple, but it starts with awareness. We need to have open conversations about these risks.